Hey, buds, big dumb idiot, mediocre Smash player here. Wonderful Skiff. This is totally not the second recording today because I had my microphone muted. And today with me on the Smasher Showcase, we have Erik, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Skiff? How's your microphone?
Man, I hate myself.
Is it working? Make
I'm
sure you tap
stupid.
it. Make sure you tap it a little bit.
I'm dumb. No,
Oh, there you go. There you go, baby.
no, I feel like an idiot. But anyway, so we're just gonna get right into this. We're gonna skip the first thing, which is where your tag originates from. It's your name. We got that.
No.
So anyway, next question. I actually don't want to skip over this one because I really think this is a conversation. I really want you to actually dive into it. But we're aware that like right now we have the pandemic going on with COVID and all that. So because of that, like tournaments are different, and you've played a lot of Wi-Fi tournaments. So what are some results that you're proud
of? Currently, the most recent one I'm proud of is probably a Meister sub tournament. Got 9th at that. Picked up a good win against Hollopup, who's 2nd in Ireland. They played Corn against me. I don't really know how to feel about that. They DM me on Discord, was like, I want a match. I mean, like at that point, and she must have been super tired. It was like almost 9 here. So if I had to guess, it's like 3 in the morning there.
Oh yeah, something like that. They're like roughly 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, like 6-7 hours. I think. Yeah. And then we got the quarantine series. I think I did pretty well at 65th. Took a game off of Meister there. Picked up a win on Meko, so you just SD'd. Yeah, and then I think another one I'm really proud of is the box online. Not mainly because of the placing there. I think I got I either got 65th or 90 something. I don't really remember off the top of my head. I believe I got 65th if I remember right, but I'm gonna get hit by that. Oh damn it!
Yeah, what's up?
But I lost in fuck. I lost in round 1 pools in that tournament. Made it all the way to 65th, which was or whatever. I made it to the final stage, and then picked up a win on Lavish there. Who's I think is HM in Michigan. I don't know, something like that. After, and then I lost to not off tempo, Noble Wi-Fi Snake. So not bad losses, not some pretty good wins. Been doing a lot more of them as of late.
Yeah.
Don't really know what my next one's gonna be, but...
Did you mention Meister? Like your one game? I know it's not a set
I've
win.
always mentioned that.
Okay.
I've always mentioned that.
Because even though, I know a lot of people will probably brush it off, but still, he plays a good amount of Wi-Fi. He does it for content on his Twitch, and he's still number 6 in the world. So even just taking a win off a player like that, that's still an accomplishment, I think, in your own right. Because even then, game 3 was what? Last stock, last hit, right?
Yeah, it was pain.
And
I got fucking bodied game 1. I got 3 stocked, and then I was like, all right, here's what he did. Let's fix it. And then I took game 2, and then I shouldn't have let him go to Smashville. That was probably my mistake at that point.
Yeah.
But whatever. It happens.
No, I get you.
You only got 2 bans.
And then the other side of that, which is I think an even bigger accomplishment, was after that, it was going into the next day, and I went into MK Leo's stream, and I said, hey, I hope you play Erik, right? And pretty much to quote, he says, Erik, who's that? Is that the Mii Swordfighter? I don't want to play him. He's annoying.
If I played him, that would have been the best set I've ever played.
Yeah, to continue that statement, he says, he almost beat Meister. If he actually almost does that, that means he's actually annoying. I don't want to play him.
Oh, you should have air dodged.
Yeah, I usually do, but I'm trying to. I gotta learn how to play against your character sometime.
I suppose. Oh, I almost rolled into that. Oh, there you go. But yeah, that was you DM me that. You DM me that on Twitter. I was like, yo, look at this. And I was like, wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I tried to.
Come on, you knew that spot dodge was coming.
I knew. I just tried to fit it in there, man.
That's right, and I got the lead here. So the other question I totally didn't ask about 20 minutes ago before we had to do this. So So when we talk about Erik, right? Obviously, you know, you and I know that you're a Mii Swordfighter main. Other Mii Swordfighters know that you're a Mii Swordfighter main because I imagine you're at least somewhat involved in the community, right?
No.
Okay, so
not really.
So
some of them know me. I know one called me carried, but she's really mean, so she doesn't really matter.
Is that another?
Both play the same character.
You guys play the same character, and someone called you carried?
Yep.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. But they're not a nice person. So I'm kind of involved, but not as much as I would like to at this point. I mainly just talk to one in particular, and that's Snaily from Louisiana.
Oh, I'm with it.
Yeah.
So then, I guess that kind of leads into the other question, which we kind of went over a little bit, but I felt like we had more to talk about. Like, so what are some when we say Erik, right? Obviously, like, you and I know who you are. Other people in our scene know who you are. But like, when someone says Erik, Mii Swordfighter main, what do you want them to think of?
You know, I kind of want to think of them as a top Mii Swordfighter. I think I'm close to that. I am dead. I buffered that. I want to think of them as a top Mii Swordfighter. I feel like I'm close to breaking through that barrier. I just need a. I feel like I can be more comfortable by myself saying that when I actually like get out the tournaments again. You know, I'm out of state. I'm planning to go with White Fang. I'm planning to go with her to some tournaments, wherever the fuck she wants to go. I don't really care where I go. I'm gonna
you just want to play, right?
I just want to play.
Yeah, no, I get it. Uh-oh.
Oh, we can know the Chang! Damn.
Get out of here. I'm winning this. No!
I'm winning this.
So like, yeah, you want to see yourself as like, so you want to see yourself as a big, the best Mii Swordfighter, right?
Yeah, of course.
Who do you consider the best, like, let's say top five Mii Swordfighters right now, and do you consider yourself among them?
I would say at this point, I hope I'm top 10. I'm not really comfortable putting myself up there because I live in North Dakota.
No, I get you. You don't want to overrate yourself. You're trying to remain a little humble.
Yeah. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
I think top 5 right now is John Numbers, Anonymous Moniker, Pokecheese, Snaily. I think Snaily, or maybe Sue. I feel like it's Sue, John Numbers, Pokecheese, and Moniker for sure in the top 5. And then I think that 5th spot is up to grabs. I could see like you putting, like some people might put me there, or might put Snaily, or like I Theta, maybe Beth. I don't know. It's just kind of hard to decide that 5th one because those 4 are obvious. They have like they go to majors a lot. A lot of us don't. A lot of us aren't able to like travel all that much. I feel like
because you're all children. Because the only people who main Mii's are children, right?
Don't talk about that.
I mean, you can just tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. I'll deal with it.
You're wrong. Well, I feel like Snaily travels a lot. I just don't know much about his results enough to definitively say they're 5th or in the top 5. You know, I just know like I haven't looked at them enough. All right.
All right, so good stuff then. So like, yeah, you want to be the top. You'd put yourself top 10 firmly.
Close. If I'm not top 10 firmly, in my mind, I'm at least like 11th.
Okay, so you're up there.
I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it, baby!
No! Not a 3-stock.
You know what? I don't fucking care.
This game sucks.
You suck.
Yeah, I know I suck.
Oh, that was able to come out in time. Oh, you damn it! You saw through my trick and teched away. Roll.
Oh wow, you're like one of 5 people who actually got the spot dodge correct on that on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I know, right? They always complain about me parrying on Wi-Fi. I don't feel like parrying on Wi-Fi is like that hard. But you know, to each her own. Maybe for an offline player it is. There it is.
No, that move's way too strong. I hate this.
Yeah, and I think that the other goal I want to be first in North Dakota, obviously. You know, best in the region. I feel like right now I'm around 4th. I feel like there's 3 players that are better than me, and I think I've been starting to pick up Rob, which I think will help me out a ton.
Probably, yeah, because I mean, I think Mii Swordfighter is a lot better than people give it credit for.
We'll
look, I'm not saying it's like a high tier or anything like that, but like people who put Mii Swordfighter low tier, I think are stupid.
I think it's either low tier or mid tier, somewhere around there.
Yeah. But like anyway, so like I think like, and the thing is like you're already easily top 5 in our state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
and you're the youngest person in our PR.
Yeah.
And I think just like picking up an obviously better character would actually probably go really well for you and probably get you pretty far.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. Because I know you have fun playing Rob. Because when you play Rob, you like it shows. It shows that you're having a good time.
I love gyro cancels. those are I love those. Oh, I tried to get greedy. Actually, after the no. maybe in a little bit I'll pull out the Rob. We'll see. Come over here. Let me hit you without the stage. Wait. Okay. Wait.
Let's go.
I haven't lost a game yet. Come on, this can't be the one. No.
Yeah, when we start talking about how bad your character is, that's perfect.
Oh, so I feel like, yeah, I feel like they are bad. Like, not the best, obviously. I feel like even they're decent. Please roll. Close enough.
So anyway, yeah. So you're putting a little bit of time in the Rob.
Robert.
Yeah, and definitely Mii Swordfighter. Oh, I missed it. Mii Swordfighter is still definitely like your best for sure.
Yeah,
so I guess from there, like, what's the question? Hang on, let me look at my notes again. God, I'm so unprofessional. This isn't gonna go anywhere. Nobody's gonna want to do this with me after you.
It ends at the pilot.
It ends the pilot? Yeah, we're crashing. First day on the job.
Let's go.
So, yeah. So another thing to kind of mention, I think, when people, like, when we talk about you, obviously you're part of a crew. What's the name of that crew?
Buntai.
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 Yeah.
Buntai. Buntai.
Buntai. Funny tie.
Where am I going?
Let's go. I'm winning this now. So like, so let's talk about Buntai. Like, what is that crew to you? What does it mean? And we'll go into like some of the specifics of like Wi-Fi crew battles and stuff like that afterwards.
They're just the homies. I met a lot of good relationships through that. Like, people I didn't know before, just finally joined, like, hey, here I am, or something like that. People I've never met before. I met a lot of real relationships from, like, people trying out, coming in, getting in, and then, you just start becoming friends. And I feel like that's, like, the really beauty of Wi-Fi crews is, like, the people you get to meet. Even though you'll get pretty good practice. A lot of matchmaking is active unless you're in some crew that just no one likes to talk into anyone. I mean, there are crews like that.
No, I get you.
We're not one of those. Just good people, good friends.
Stuff,
and that's what really matters.
So getting into the crews in general. I know for myself and others, we didn't know how big some of these Wi-Fi crews actually were, and like the fact that there's an actual like league and playoffs and all that stuff. So like for those who don't know and are interested in getting into it, like what would you recommend? We'll get the link afterwards for like where they can go, but let's just talk about like where could they go to get information, who could they go to, how could one try out, different stuff like that.
Okay, so if you want to go to information about the Smash Crew server, there should be on Twitter, you can look up Smash Crew League. You could probably find their Twitter there. I don't remember if that's the exact name of the Twitter, but it's something close to that. If you look up Smash Crew League, you should probably be able to find it. Give me the grab.
Shut up. Give me the grab.
There we go. But from there, you can join the server. You can look at the rules, look at the recruiting. The way that people try out, it's usually different for a lot of servers. You know, sometimes it's even different per tester. You know, usually how it works, you'll have a tester. They'll play you for, some crews do first to 5, some crews do best of 5, some crews do best of 3s, some crews do how many ever games they feel like it. I know when I test, I usually play however many games I feel like at that point. I'm not really like much of a best of 5 guy, because I feel like I wanna know how people like change, how they adapt over a long time. Even though they're going to play in like one map, they're going to probably play in crew battles. You'll probably play in about 1 to 2 matches, 1, 2, 3 matches at most.
Yeah.
Usually. But you still want to be able to make sure that they're able to adapt quickly. So if they take a long time to adapting, because they're gonna have to play a bunch of different playstyles, you're gonna have to play a bunch of different people.
So growth is a big thing too, right?
Yeah. You also want to find people who have like potential to grow, like the work ethic. You know, they wanna get better. They want to be around. They want to play. You know, at first you're probably not gonna play them as much as they would like, but because mainly you don't know them. But you have to, over that, you need to see that they're getting better, you know, and see that they're improving. You know, as a leader, you have to see if they're improving as well. You know, you put them in crew battles, you see how they do, you judge them. You know, I know we personally have a coach, which has been a huge addition for us, and that's gotten a lot of our players significantly better.
Who's your coach?
And Chang Wang, he's not really. You probably won't know who he is.
No, that's fine, but I mean, just a shout out, you know.
Yeah, he's done a great job with a few of our players, and you know.
Goodbye.
And some crews have that offering, some crews don't. A lot of crews just like their leaders will be the coaches. I know I have definitely like taught a few people about it. Like I have tried to help people out as much as I can. You know, it's at the end of the day, like, you know, it's, even though like you can take them as seriously what you want, but at the end of the day, the goal of them is to try. I feel like the goal for most people that join a Wi-Fi crew at the end of the day is just to get better and, you know, meet friends.
Yeah, we're living.
So if you really can't find a crew that does that for you, then what's the point of being in that crew? Unless you really like want to improve it, unless you like are there for hanging out with people, or like don't really want, are like not really there to like play. You're just kind of there to hang out. You know, that's okay too. It all depends on really what you're looking for out of a Wi-Fi crew.
I get you. No, that makes actually a lot of sense. So, like, yeah, you guys got the playoffs coming up soon. I know because I've talked to you about it. I've heard a few things from G. He's over at ANG. I don't know too many people, like, heavily involved in the scene. So how do you feel about your team's chances in the playoffs coming up?
I feel like we have a pretty good shot. Just straight up. I feel like that we have one of the... I want to see if it's working. All right. We have one of the deeper ones. Well, we have a few really good players. We have... the thing I'm worried about most right now is, like, being able to get the depth. Because we have 4 really good players. Myself, Sassy Flygon, who is ranked in upstate New York. Bob the Dustclops, who is ranked in California somewhere in the sub-region of SoCal and usually does well at, like, SoCal stuff. And Krieg, who right now I think would be considered our best player by a lot of people, who's 4th in Utah, has a lot of good wins there. You know, after that, like, you need to find depth. We have a lot of good depth people, but you know, you have to find someone that like can play and just, you know, go in there, take 3. They don't have to take 4. You need to build like a lineup. You need to and then you have to find like people you can switch in and out. Like, it's a lot of different moving parts to get ready. Oh, that missed. Oh, I'm dead.
Goodbye.
Yeah. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of like being able to trust people in certain situations. I know like soon we'll be able to have Pocket back in the crew battles, who's a good Wi-Fi joker. Not able to play offline very much, but you know, they're fairly good offline. And then we have like a few other people like Ian V, McDonald, who recently joined our crew, Bradyak, who lives in South Dakota. One of a friend of ours that I convinced after pleading. We have a lot of good players that I feel like can step into that 5th slot if need be, but you know, it's really just going to depend on like who feels comfortable where, who wants to play this matchup, who wants to. Oh no way! Why'd you go for that?
That's like the first time I ever went for that shit. I was just like, you know what? I don't know if he'll expect this. And then I went for it, and that was honestly sick as fuck. And I'm so proud of myself right now.
Oh.
You have no idea how much I'm fucking smiling. I got the biggest shit-eating grin.
Yeah. Okay. But we'll see how it all plays out. I feel like we have a pretty good chance to win it. But you know, we gotta play our cards right. You know, there's probably I think like depth-wise, I feel like overall like talent-wise, we have one of the like 4 of the best players in the SCS automatically. Well, 5 really if you count Pocket because he's really good. And then I think we're a little like maybe a little less depth-heavy than other crews, and that might be an issue for us. To find like people who are willing to play those matchups, people who are willing to step in at that certain time. But you know, there's a lot of good crews. Yeah,
you're dead.
No,
you're dead because I went for that amazing godlike play on your second stock. I'm gonna replay that at the end. I'm going to replay it nonstop. In fact, I'm even gonna save the replay right here, just to have the additional footage in case somehow my hard drive gets corrupted because Erik decides to get into coding and like Trojan horse my computer. But anyway, so yeah, so you sound like you got a pretty solid Wi-Fi crew, and you guys are pretty excited, and should go decently far, right?
Yeah. Right now we're seeded to get into quarters. We'll see. We got dealt a pretty shitty hand for our round 2 matchup because we have to play a crew that realistically should have a bye, but doesn't. Because
I get you.
Circumstances. I don't really know what kind of prevented them getting a bye because they're easily one of the better crews. Oh, okay.
I should have sent you up.
Yeah, I probably would have died. I probably wouldn't be either wrong, I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, I know. I do that every once in a while. Like if I'm up high, like I'll generally try to throw people up because who really expects it, you know?
Yeah, true. Tornado. I hate how I don't land on platforms sometimes. That's one of the most annoying things about this character. Their jump height is so bad.
Oh, I get you. So, yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. I'm the host. I'm the pilot.
Yeah,
you're at my plane. let's not forget who's the boss here. Okay. So, so we learned about a little bit about some of your past results. Your crew, for instance. I feel like that's actually a big part of who you are as a player. Because I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Out of everybody I know, I would probably say you're the Wi-Fi guy, and that's not to say like you only get wins on Wi-Fi or anything. So don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, I know.
It's just because that you're simply involved the most. Like I see you TOing in some tournaments. I see you, involved with the crew battles and stuff like that. So, but you know, it's definitely it's definitely great to see that. It's definitely great to see how involved you are with the Wi-Fi scene because as much shit as the Wi-Fi scene catches, it's honestly a really dedicated scene. So it's pretty good to see. I mean,
most of the time it's just people working with what they got.
Yeah.
Like, they can't give a. I could have taken that farther, I'm pretty sure, but.
Oh, probably. I was ready to just feel bad the rest of this day, or the rest of this game at least.
Don't worry. We're still going. Oh, come on, man.
I'm about to win this.
Oh, I tried to get out of the range. Okay, if you hit that against me, I would have been very sad.
No way. So, let's get into a little bit more about you as a player, though. So we're gonna talk about like your game plan. So let's just say you're facing against any of the top players. Let's just say in our region alone. Actually, not at that. Let's say people you don't normally play against, right? So, because with our players, like you're familiar with them, you know how you want to play against them. But for somebody you don't know, but you know is a good player, what is your game plan going into that? Like, what advantages are you looking to take, or at least capitalize on? And then, like, how do you plan to execute?
I feel like Mii Swordfighter, the best part about them is that they have a really good neutral state most of the time. Most of the time, well, they have good tools to keep people at bay a little bit, sometimes they could struggle with letting people in against really fast characters. Like characters with good full hops usually do well against Mii Swordfighter, just for the simple fact of you can now jump over tornado. You can traps.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me down!
Oh, I tried to hit that force smash unit. So mainly your game plan is just being able to I usually just try to feel people out, you know, see what they want to do in neutral. If they like to full hop a lot, I usually like to throw
Yeah, you can't just jab me once, man.
I usually like to throw Chakram up to cover that. You know, like that.
Yep.
I tried to up tilt. Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on!
The Skiff special.
It is the Skiff special. You know, call out. I usually really benefit a lot about calling jumps out in neutral and calling run up shields. I feel like that's one of the best things about it, because you're gonna be, if you throw out projectiles a lot, you're gonna make people want to approach a shield because they don't want to get hit by the projectile. They don't want to get into disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
You can and then Mii Swordfighter has a really good grab game, so you can capitalize that. You know, with just, if you think they're gonna run up shield, like I've done this to a lot of people. If you think they're gonna run up shield, just say fuck it and go and grab them.
No, I get you. No, that makes sense. I mean,
yeah. Sometimes people react to it and they jump out of shield, and then you gotta go for an up smash there. Like I do run up smash sometimes to come out jumps and jump out shields. Please air dodge. Close enough.
I played that so terribly. There's like 2 times I could have gotten out of that, and I just didn't.
Oh, the Skiff special. I thought it was under the stage. That happens sometimes. But you know, I feel like a best part of my neutral is just calling out jumps, calling out shields. And you know, you mainly just want to feel people out, and then once you get them disadvantaged, you just want to see how far you can take it. You know, even though you might not hit it, it's still. I'm not dead.
I don't care. Uh-oh. Okay, you're not gonna kill me.
I can't kill you. Well, I maybe could have. Probably not though. I'm about to hit you.
No.
Oh, I tried to call the spot dodge. What?
Oh, let's go! Ah!
You peaked your mic so bad.
I can't wait to listen back to that and just hear the mic just cut out because it just couldn't handle my raw power exploding out of my vocal cords.
But yeah, mainly just feeling people out. You know, a lot of down tilts. That's a nice, good poke.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure, playing against you, I know your neutral is definitely a big part of your thing, and because obviously, like with any game, like especially when it's so action-packed like this, a big part of it is kind of seeing what your opponent's going to do and then adapting from there. Like you, obviously, it's a big part of it's just playing your neutral and then using like your projectiles, like you mentioned, which then lead into grabs. So I totally get that. Like especially with playing Incineroar. You know, a big part of my whole thing is actually, you know, throwing out some of his. He's got like some pretty good projectiles and stuff like that, and I want to put you in shield, just like you want to grab. I want to grab.
Yeah, Mii Sword has Incineroar has a very good projectiles. You know.
Yeah.
Like you said. But it's just a lot of. I feel like I'm also pretty good in advantage. I feel like I take advantage. I feel like I overextend a few times, but like, you know, I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm not afraid of like getting hit by. I feel like there's a few times where I play genuinely scared of my opponent.
Well, I mean, I think that happens to anybody, really, especially like in an actual tournament setting. It makes sense. I was gonna die if you didn't hit me with that tornado.
Yeah. But I feel like I have a pretty good advantage state. I feel like the weakest part of my game currently is just disadvantage state. Part of that's Mii Swordfighter, part of that's me, you know.
No, I get you.
Disadvantage is usually hard for characters that are kind of middleweight. Like, he's not really combo food, but he's also like also not like a floaty where you can only get 1 or 2 hits on him. He's like in the middle. He's like around Mario weight.
You took my jump.
Yes, sir. And then, you know, ledge trapping, you know, pushing people into the corner is also a big thing. I want to get better at edge guarding with my nair and like my up B. I feel like that could be a really good thing. Like, a really good tool to utilize because the nair lasts so long. Is a really decently sized hitbox.
No, I get you. Yeah, your nair is actually really stupid.
No, it's really good. It doesn't mean it's stupid. Leave off at Skiff.
No, it's, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten the double hits on that.
Yeah, I try to up air you. Oh my god, the Skiff classic.
Oh, this is gonna be it.
No, it's not. I'm not jumping into that again. I'm not jumping into that again. You're gonna grab and you're gonna get up aired and die. No, come on.
I'm gonna live now.
You're gonna get tornadoed and then you're gonna get not up aired, but then you're gonna get up smashed and then you're gonna counter it. No. All right, watch this.
No way! So yeah, so very neutral heavy for sure. But good stuff. No, I think that actually encapsulates your playstyle very well. It's definitely something I've noticed playing against you as much as I have, which is usually a pleasure when we're not talking on microphones. But half the time, more than half the time, about 90% of the time, we're playing in voice chat. So it's usually like the worst experience of my life because I have to hear you talk and say things. Because you say some dumb shit sometimes.
Okay, come on, leave me be. It's not that dumb.
No, Eric, you're one of my favorite people in this scene. Don't forget that.
Robert.
Oh boy, this is a matchup I definitely hate with Incineroar. So
I've never played it.
So I want to get into a little bit more on the local level and then leading up to the major level. So in terms of the local level, we did mention that you definitely think you're top 5 within the state, which I totally agree with. But what do you think about your current skill level, especially in the North Dakotan scene?
I think I'm 4th right now, if I had to give a ranking to it. I feel like the only person that really agrees with me is Lamomo, who many people considered above me. He's like, yeah, I remember we had like a 3-hour-long grind session. He's like, you've gotten so much better than me. I was like, and, you know, that was a really nice thing to hear because he's one of my he's one of my better friends in the scene. Oh.
No, that makes sense, man. Like, Moses is like one of the nicest dudes in like the FGC scene in general. So I totally get and can see him saying that. Like, that's not something I feel like you'd make up.
No, but like, you know, he used to be in Smash 4. He used to kick my ass.
He was what? Wasn't he top best in the state during Smash 4?
Yeah, he was best in the state. But like, he was also like, I never even once beat him. I never once beat him in like the 5 sets we played. I never beat him ever. And then the first Ultimate Monthly I ever went to, you know, I finally beat Moses. So I was like, wait, I finally did it. after about 3 years or so of slaving away against his DDD, dying at 60. The first set I was really close. Was in Smash 4. I got shield broke at 40 and I died. And that's how I lost.
No, his DDD is definitely sick. I actually never got to play him in Smash 4 because I wasn't super heavy involved in the scene.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I mean, you're so lucky.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. Because, what is it, Tyler up here in North Dakota, Dad? I'm not sure what stream he used or name he uses for like Smash Bros anymore. Runs Dakno up here. Shout outs to Dakno, by the way. I know he always praises Moses heavily, and I think he's played against him a few times for sure. So, yeah, no, Moses definitely sick. Uh-oh.
But I feel like he's the really only person that thinks I'm better than him, which is kind of funny.
No,
besides me, he's like the only one that thinks I'm better than him right now.
No, I can totally see it.
It's kind of funny.
I think you definitely get you can get frustrated and lose against people that you probably shouldn't more than Moses. But like because Moses remains cool, man. That's just who he is. But no, I totally get it. Definitely number 4 in the state. I totally agree with that. And 100%, your number 10 on the PR in North Dakota is definitely
Shut
not
up.
reflective of your play at all.
Oh, I was about to say, like, yeah, it is totally true that you're a number 10th on the PR.
Number 10 on the North Dakota PR, which is already a okay scene in general. As much as I love the scene, like, our power level's pretty medium, I would say, compared to a lot of other places.
I mean, it is North Dakota.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it.
Like,
If we had if Fargo was bigger, you know, I feel like North Dakota could be, like, have a really solid scene, but we work with what we got. Even though Minnesota's like right there, but Minneapolis is like so far away, like 4 hours. Who's gonna drive out here 4 hours for like a weekly or a monthly, you know?
yeah, he used to, and then he got famous.
You leave him alone. That man's a national treasure.
I know he is.
The Heartland treasure. That's what he is.
I try to get up air pop up into up smash. I'll be honest. Oh, wait!
No, go that way. We're gonna try this again now. Ah! And then you're gonna clip me on that. Oh.
Please. Wait!
I saw you. You held the wrong direction there.
I know I did. Don't even tell me.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so, I want to ask you how you feel like on a more international level, but I feel like you haven't gotten a lot of practice. But like, I mean, at least in the Wi-Fi scene, right? Where do you put yourself as a Wi-Fi player? Like, because I feel like you've played a lot more out-of-state talent and out of like local talent there than anywhere else.
I think I'd probably be like if the Wi-Fi ranking, I'd probably be like a top 100 at least on that. Okay. I don't really, but they usually do 50th only, and also only a really counting Wi-Fi tournaments. I mean, I used to not do Wi-Fi tournaments a lot, so I could be. It's like it's based on like the PGR, so it's score based instead of like what we do is like panel based. You know, so even though I think I'm the top 100 player, I think I maybe wouldn't be considered that right now, because because of the fact that I just only recently started doing tournaments. I've only now just started to get back into the swing of things because I used to just not, because I didn't really have any reason to. But now, nothing else. Might as well. Ow.
Yeah, you're gonna take the pain here. I'm winning this.
Oh no, you aren't. Okay. I should have saw that.
Actually, I know one of the panelists. I believe it's Last. Are you familiar with him?
No.
I think it's L4ST or something like that.
Maybe. I don't really. No, not really.
I think he's one of the panelists. I think that's what he told me. I don't want to spread false information. I'm pretty sure he said that. But anyway, but no, I get you. I think that's the best way to kind of like, at least estimate, like what your level is within the world. I mean, you're definitely not top 100 in the world. We're just gonna put that out there.
Damn.
But
crushing my dreams out of your Skiff.
I am not gonna sugarcoat this for you. Like
crushing my dreams out of your Skiff.
But like, if you could attend, let's just say at least 2 majors a year and more regionals, where do you think you stand? Like, and even if you're not there yet, but if you had that experience to be able to do that more often, where do you think you could get to?
I think I could be one of. I feel like the work ethic I have is just going to carry me throughout any. If I decide to go to bigger tournaments, you know, I feel like some people they want to practice. They don't want to practice. They just want to use whatever they have. You know, they just want to play. You know, they don't really care about practicing. They don't want to try to get themselves better. They just want to try to get better by playing. And I mean, like, you can do that to an extent, but then you have to, and I feel like I've also realized this lately, you have to also work on other stuff. You know, you have to be good at analyzation, you know, figure out what your opponent does beforehand before you even have to play him. That gives you an advantage starting. You know, you have to see what you did wrong, see what you need to improve on, see how you're matching up against certain matchups, certain players. You know, you got to work on that stuff out of game first. Like you can't just play the game all the time and be really good. I mean, you can to an extent, but you can't be like one of the best players in the world.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Like the difference between being good and great is practice, like you've mentioned. Like all the great players, like despite what some people on Twitter would like to say, 70% natural talent's not a thing for this game. Like,
oh no, it is. Trust me.
You say it is?
No, shut up. I'm joking.
Like, I don't think it is, like, cause like there's no natural talent for Smash Bros. There's no Smash Bros. Gene, you know. Ooh.
Well, I feel like you can be talented.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But like practice is going to take you to a top level player more than anything else.
Like it's not like in sports where like to be a top athlete in the world you have to be athletic. You have to have the genes to be an athlete, a top athlete in the world.
No, I get you.
That one is gene based mostly. Like a lot of that is just straight up actually just genes. You can practice all you want, but you're never gonna be like, unless you're really like, unless you somehow are like on roids. Sometimes your body just doesn't have the ability to do that what you want to do. Like in cycling, your VO2 max, how much oxygen you can take in, that depends on person. You could train it to an extent, but if you're born with a better, VO2 max, you're gonna have a better chance at cycling.
No, I totally get what you're saying, man. But yeah, I think if you were able to get to more places, yeah, you could probably honestly make a real name for yourself.
I feel like
unfortunately, you live in the cornfields of the Midwest. And you take what you can get. I mean, that's just how it is. Who knows? Maybe once you actually finally get to college, you'll be able to make a few more trips to somewhere.
I mean, I'm starting to be able to take more trips now. I feel like I've got a lot of support more from my parents. I mean, like they've always supported me before, but like not like they like we can't let you go out of state. I mean, like all the time.
No, I totally get you. So in terms of that, like, especially when it comes to like, we went over your game plan and where you think you are skill wise. I think we briefly covered weaknesses, but like, what do you think your real weaknesses
are? My disadvantage state. And sometimes my mentality. Like, even though I have a good work ethic, I sometimes can get like a little frustrated. I feel like that's a lot of. That's where the genes come in. That's my dad.
No, I get you. I think I know exactly what you're talking about because you and I both made the joke that I'm your tournament dad. For sure. And as much as I like it, I think you don't need me as much as you say you do.
Yeah. I feel like most of it is just like only being able to do it once a month. Like if I played a football game every once a month, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be as prepared for football as I would be normally.
No, for sure.
It's like all the other players that live around Fargo, they usually get to do multiple tournaments. So they're used to that multiple tournaments a month. Around assuming they go to every single one, they're gonna have at least 5, more than likely. So like. And that's a big difference because then they have to, they get to the practice, they get the practice of playing offline, switching offline and online sometimes is a little difficult because, I remember offline, when my Z button used to actually work, it doesn't work right now, which is very pensive.
Pensive, a big word, Eric.
Yeah, I know. I got big vocabulary.
It's such a smart boy.
Yeah, man, the genes don't lie.
Oh, damn! But, so yeah, I think mentality is definitely something that a lot of Smash players actually struggle with. Because, like, even if you're not really a person who struggles with mentality, if there's just a day that you're at a tournament and you're just not feeling it, right, it's just going to throw off your whole game in general. Like, you don't have to be depressed to struggle in a tournament setting, Oh. Yeah,
I know.
What? All right.
I know. I think I would be better at like tournament mentality if I could go to more tournaments because a lot of it's just like nerves and messing up. Like I don't get as frustrated as much as I used to. Like I only get frustrated when I really want to win, or I'm listening to Rage Against the Machine for like a week straight.
Yeah, fight the power.
That's when I get frustrated. I listened to Bulls on Parade for a week straight, and I just have that build up excitement in me. Like I'm going to be, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I threw that the wrong way. Fuck. I wear my emotions on the sleeve. I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like, you know, some people may think that's a bad thing, but I feel like, you know, it's showing that, you know, I really care about what I want to do, about where I want to go.
Emotions just kind of make you human, man. It's
Yeah.
really nothing to like really
See,
get
like,
yourself about.
Yeah, I don't understand people who are like, oh, don't show your emotions on you. They're like, don't wear your emotions all the time. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
No, like there's definitely a difference between like screaming after you lose a set and then just feeling bad. Like if you feel bad because you're reflecting on what you're doing, but then you use that to better yourself, that's like positive, like negative emotions. Like that's the best way I can describe it. I know there's a better term for it, but you know, I'm not scientifically or just smart inclined. So like I guess like the best way to describe it for myself.
Usually after I lose a set, I usually like to in section 9, I go by the drinks and I just think about what I did wrong, what I could have done better.
Yeah.
You know, and then like there, and then, you know, if it's winners, I gotta get ready for my next set. But if it's losers, I gotta think about what I can do next time. Think about, you know, how I did in bracket, how I feel about that indirectly. I think the only time I've been like really frustrated with myself after a loss offline, online's a different story. Online, because when you lose online, it just sometimes it's just a little frustrating.
Oh yeah, no, like because there's only so much you can actually do about online, you know. Like offline, like there's usually not as many excuses like to why you lost something.
Please air dodge. Damn you.
Why you just do that? Actually, I probably could have just killed you.
Yeah, you probably should've just
I didn't grab that ledge. What? What are you doing?
I'm having a good time.
Too much movement.
Too much move.
Too much smooth.
Damn you.
Sometimes you gotta find those, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay. Alright, up air, laser, gyro, nair. Damn it. Yay!
Hold up, my turn. Oh, wait!
You know what? I disagree.
I don't care.
Please.
Ah!
But, I feel like just being able to go to tournaments, like, not every once a month, but, like, every so often would be probably a lot better for me.
No, I get you. See, I thankfully, like, living up in Grand Forks, you know, there's at least like, we have a monthly here and a monthly in Fargo. And at first, like, I wasn't going to go to monthlies in Fargo. And then what happened, because, like, I didn't care that much, but I started getting more involved in the scene, and I realized just, like, how much more fun it is just to go to more tournaments and stuff like that. So I'm definitely thankful for the fact that I can at least drive myself to oh, shit, I could have survived that, but I was too busy talking. I could, you know, I'm able to go to more, like, tournaments and stuff like that. So it's definitely positive for me. I totally get where you're coming from. So,
yeah.
Wrapping up from there, is there anything you want to, like, bring to the table? Like, anything you want to talk about? Like, this doesn't have to be Smash related. It can be Smash related. Like, I'm just all for giving you, like, at least some platform to get, you know, whatever thoughts you have, you know, out there.
I'm not really feeling very philosophical today, so.
You got nothing. When I don't ask you for anything, you have all this shit to throw at me. Just word vomit. But, like, now that I ask you for word vomit, you're like, yeah, man, I can't perform on command. I have stage fright. What is that?
I have to be in a philosophical kind of day, you know?
Oh, my God.
Socrates.
You are no Socrates.
Yeah, I'm better Socrates.
Socrates, you know? These nuts. Got him.
Well, no, I do got one thing. You know, I feel like you're gonna be. I feel like I'll be a lot more well recognized soon. You know, as I said before, I can't remember if it was actually was it on this recording. I don't know anymore. They're both the same to me. But oh yeah, baby, swag.
Oh, good. That was a good read. But anyway, so what were you trying to get at? You like started talking and then you mumbled, like you started falling asleep or having an aneurysm or something. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay.
You said you feel like you're gonna start getting recognized soon, and then
yeah, a little longer, like because I feel like I'm gonna be going to a lot more tournaments more with White Fang. Like I'll be able to drive more. I'll be able to actually drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm able to drive right now, but like I haven't been able to like drive. If you like, I haven't been able to go to where I want to go. I'm only able to go like. I'm only able to go around here. Like I'm not really like. If I ask my parents to go to Fargo, they'll probably say no. If I ask my parents to go like Sioux Falls, they'll probably say no. But coming up soon. Now I don't think I'll have to worry about that. But I could be wrong. Who knows? But I'm planning to go a lot more tournaments with White Fang, with Jace, and we're just gonna go around. We're just gonna go wherever the hell we can go. I think one of the first tournaments we're gonna go to as soon as the quarantine's over is Nebraska, around someplace in Nebraska. I think we talked about going to Minneapolis if they ever get their actual tournaments back. Like to Iowa. You know, it's all around. And I mean, like, I'm all down for traveling. If I don't gotta drive, I just get to sit there. That's Pog. I don't gotta do shit, and I get to go play Smash Brothers. Let's go.
No, I get that, man. No,
so
I'm excited for you. I hope the future definitely allows you a lot more opportunities to kind of get out there and grow as a player and a person. I know we usually don't have these sappy conversations with each other and stuff like that because we're usually too busy making Brainiac mad or saying stupid stuff like to Brainiac or saying things that just make Ian scream at us. But no, dude, I'm actually happy for you. I hope things actually start to open up again soon, so you can really start to capitalize on that type of stuff. Because man, I think you definitely have a high potential. It's just a matter of getting there.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think the funny thing is that I started to get better like before quarantine. I felt like I was starting to be better, and then
dude,
I
you, me, and Relics. Oh man, dude, I feel so bad for Relics because he was getting he was getting a couple PR wins, like a three or four, right, and like doing really well, and then this whole thing just stopped any sort of progression he had, and I feel so bad for him, man. But yeah,
I feel like I've actually gotten better over quarantine, which is funny.
Yeah. So like, I guess from here, are there any final words that you would like to throw out there? Or we can do this match and you can think about what you want to say first.
Okay.
Okay.
wear a mask. Do that at least. I'll say that. At least just like I can't tell if I'm getting a cold right now because I'm too young for the actual coronavirus symptoms. But I feel like I'm also getting a cold, so I'm really concerned. A little concerned, especially because a case was actually just here in my county, the first one. So I might be ground zero.
Patient zero.
Patient zero, baby.
Like I was saying, ground zero is like,
shut up.
It's a totally different thing, Erik.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No, you're gonna, Erik. Ground zero is an entirely different thing, and in fact, I think it's older than you. I think 9/11 is older than you.
Oh, that ground zero.
Oh, that's what I think. When I hear ground zero, that's what I think.
I wasn't alive for that, so
yeah, I'm gonna get demonetized for probably bringing it up. I'm not even monetized yet. Like I'm just gonna get blocked from being monetized.
you're gonna put on the watch list.
Watch list for what? Talking about it?
Yeah, you're on the bad side. You're not allowed to talk about historical events.
Shut the hell up.
You know, nothing happens places, all right? There's no war in Bossing Say.
God, I hate you.
I still need to watch that. I haven't watched that yet. It's on Netflix? That shit's goated.
Goat. Never watched it. Goat.
Goat. I've watched a bit of it.
Oh,
but
you're dead?
Still goated. No, I'm not dead. What? Wait.
Don't charge the laser.
Oh yeah. Have I told you about this? I got a letter from New Mexico football. New Mexico Highlands football. They're begging for it.
Really? They want you to go down to New Mexico?
Yes. No thanks. I think I'll pass.
I mean, that would be too bad.
Why would I? Well, I don't think I really want to go to Mexico.
Depending on what part you go to, it's pretty much just.
I mean, New Mexico.
New Mexico, yeah. But depending on what part of New Mexico you go to, it's pretty much just desert North Dakota.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting, huh?
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess.
No, it's not exciting.
No, that sounds like a great time. I don't know what you mean. But that's interesting. I don't know why they sent me an email. I'm not really gonna bother with it though. Oh, I don't know. The thing is, like, I might consider it if they were actually like a decent program, but they went 0-4 in their last season, so I'm really concerned.
They went what?
They went 0-4. They went 0 for whatever, how many games they played.
That's why they're begging for you. We'll take the kid from the corn. We'll do it.
The thing is, they play a bunch of South Dakota teams too. They play School of Mines and shit.
Oh,
I don't. Yeah, I don't know why. Why are they in that conference?
I think it's just like the Midwest type deal or whatever. It's just like
New Mexico ain't Midwest.
Okay, listen, it's close enough. All right, it might as well be. All right. So I think it's just the fact that like middle of the country schools just try to look for other schools to play against or something. I don't know. But I think right there we're gonna wrap this up. So did you think about any final words you really want to throw out there besides wearing masks?
Just be a nice human being. That's
stuff,
about
Erik.
it. That's all I gotta say.
I can totally agree with that. You know what? I think
Skiff.
that wraps up my final words as well. So anyway, man, I want to thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever else you identify as possibly. That's probably gonna get me in trouble. We'll see.
Yeah, you should cut that out.
No, we'll
you should cut that out. Wait, no.
Because I can't just say ladies and gentlemen, so whatever else you may identify as, you know? I had to run with it as best I could. I'm sorry. I'm a little older, okay? I'm trying to adapt. But anyway, as I was saying, thank you guys very much for tuning in here. This is Erik of Buntai. Absolute pleasure having you around, man. Definitely one of my favorite people to play games with.
Thank you for having me on, Skiff.
All right, everybody, take it easy.